Hi guys, software engineering tutorials presented by Ashok Kumar, lecturer in computer science from GDC Chindalapur. In this video, we will discuss what is the software engineering process paradigms, also called as software engineering process models. We have different types of process models: waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, prototype model, and V model. In this video, we will focus on waterfall model. In the next videos, we will focus on remaining models. First of all, coming to software engineering process paradigms. Software engineering presents a variety of approaches for software development using different phases of the SDLC. These paradigms or approaches are also called software engineering models or software development process models. These process models helps to the developer by selecting a different strategy to develop the software product. Software development paradigms has own set of tools, methods, procedures for defining the SDLC phases. Mostly used process paradigms are waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, prototype model, and V model. We will discuss all these models one by one. In this video, first one is waterfall model. Waterfall model is the oldest process model compared to the remaining process models. It is also a simplest process model to develop the software product. It have different names: linear process model, are also called sequential process model, are also called a lightweight process models. I can say, if you know the SDLC, that is very much similar to the waterfall model. It says, that means waterfall model says all the phases of the SDLC will function one after another in a linear manner or sequential manner. We can observe this statement from the below animated picture now. The waterfall model have the first phase, analysis phase. In this phase, all the requirements to develop the product will be identified from the customers or different stakeholders. And one more point, the waterfall model specifically says all the requirements, means 100% requirements will be identified in this phase. You cannot include requirements in the later phases. After completion of the analysis phase, the next phase will be design. In the design phase, from the input of the analysis phase, we will create an architecture called as blueprint of our system. Once the design phase is completed, the next phase we are moving coding. Coding means also called implementation. In this phase, any one of the programming language is selected to write our programs to build the product. That means software. After completion of the coding, the next phase is testing. In the testing phase, the product which you are built is tested in different dimensions, how it is works, and according to the customer requirement, it will implemented or not, etc. Once the testing phase is completed, the deployment and maintenance phase is the next phase. In this phase, the product is released and used by the user, and any maintenance activities will be required, they will be performed in this phase. In this manner, the phases one after another in linear manner will function to implement the product. This strategy is called as waterfall model. Coming to the next one, when to use this waterfall model. Waterfall model can be used whenever requirements are identified 100% in the analysis phase, or the requirements are clearly specified by the customers or stakeholders, and the requirements cannot be changed frequently in the later phases. This is the first most important point about the waterfall model. Next, developing application is not complicated and big. That means when you are developing a simple application or otherwise a small application, it is not complicated, then we will go for waterfall model strategy. Already said the project is very short, then you go for waterfall model. And as per the first point, the requirements are very clear, or otherwise the requirements are not changing infrequently, then we will go for the waterfall model to implement the software product. And when you use waterfall model means, the another important point, technology and several tools we are using to develop your product are not changing dynamically. That means in the analysis phase, if you have decided this is the technology to develop the product and these are the tools are used to develop the product, then you will stick on that point only. Okay, those are not changing. Then only you will select waterfall mode. And resources are available and trained. Where resources means especially human resources like software developers, designers, software testers are available and they are trained to perform all those activities. Then we will choose the waterfall model to build the product. These are the few points which suggest to select the waterfall model to develop the product. Next, advantages of the waterfall model. The waterfall model very simple and easy to understand because the SDLC phases will be performed or functioned one by one. There is no complexity. That's why it is simple and easy to understand. And next one, this waterfall model is only suitable for smaller projects and the requirements are very clear and defined and not changed. It is not suitable for complex or big projects. And this model have phases are processed one after another and phases do not overlap. That means phases do not overlap means at the same time you cannot perform multiple phases, or otherwise after completion of the one phase you cannot go back to the previous phase. That is nothing but overlapping or processing one after another in linear manner. And this process model is very cost effective process model. That means when you are choosing the product to build using this process model, we can almost reduce the so much cost. That's why we can say cost effective process model. And coming to the next part, disadvantages of the waterfall model. Once an application in the testing phase, it is very difficult to go back to previous phase. Not only in the testing phase, once one phase is completed, if you identified anything which is not covered on that phase, so in order to cover, you cannot go back to the previous phase. Once design is completed, okay, you cannot go back to analysis phase. Once the testing is completed, you cannot go back to coding or design, etc. previous phases, because the functionality of this waterfall model in sequential manner one after another. That's why it's a very big drawback. And as per previous screens, this is not suitable to develop a big and complex projects, and it is also not desirable. That means not suggested to develop the product when requirements are changed or clearly not defined in the analysis phase. And choosing this particular waterfall model, sometimes especially for complex or big projects, is high amount of risk as well as some uncertainty and instability. These are the disadvantages of the waterfall model. Thank you for watching this video.